Oh baby, it's cold outside. Are you ready for this? Let's go have a look. Greetings friends, boat building enthusiasts, everybody around the world. Um, Welcome to frozen Eastern Ontario. It's January 17th, 2024. And I've ventured out through the wicked winter weather to see how the boat's held up. And the boat's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's just cold. Now the big shed that's around it, not so much. We had some wicked wind come through this week and blew out a section of the roof, and I had to throw an emergency patch on that. And I'll stick a picture up here so you can have a look. So this is where the section of the cabin roof or the boat shed roof blew out, and that was a hastily installed patch just to keep the snow out until we get some weather where I can access this thing from the outside. Between the boat shed and my garden shed is about a foot and a half wide, so it's pretty tight. It's filled with snow, so right now that's going to be a bugger to fix, but not unusual. This is the outside of the boat shed where that section blew off. I don't know if you can see it there. It's black, but it's just a temporary patch until I can get in there. And you can see there's, I'll move over. There's not a whole lot of space in there to work with. And I'm not very good on monkey bars anymore, so I may have to call in some help. Other than that, it's very quiet. Over the holiday season, we acquired some more parts and bits and pieces for the boat that you'll hopefully see go into the boat this coming year. It's going to be an ambitious program, and I hope you stick with us through it because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of work, but we're bound and determined to try and get as much done as we can. Larry and I have discussed it, and we've sort of set a date to put this thing in the water, which will be probably around the 1st of May 2025. So that's not really that far away, and there's a whole lot of work to do. So I just wanted to stop in here and say hi. Hope everybody's well. Hope you had a great holiday season. I hope you're warm during the weather wherever you are. I know some of you guys down south in the southern latitudes are very warm. And hi to Ross and Janet and Bruce and Damien and Jess and all you guys down in Australia working on your boats. I hope you guys have a really good 2024. So I'm going to go through and show you a couple of little things that I've been doing over the last month or so. So this is my trusty old air compressor. This one's been with me since almost the beginning of the project, and it served me well. But a while back, I got thinking about if I'm going to use this for spray painting, I need to have a way to dry the air to ensure there's no moisture in it. As some of you will know, that's a good idea. So I've installed this little heat exchanger thing, radiator core, whatever you want to call it. I believe it's actually a transmission cooler. And I've plumbed the compressor, which exits here directly into the heat exchanger, and from the heat exchanger it goes into this large auxiliary tank that I found on Amazon Marketplace for $40, and it's 22 gallons. So I thought this would be a good idea to expand the capacity of my air compressor system. And then from the tank it goes all the way back into the main tank. And any of you guys know anything about air compressors and how they work, normally there is a line that runs from the compressor side one of these little black lines, or sometimes it's copper or steel or whatever, and that runs into the unloader valve for your compressor controller. And what that does is once the cycle is completed and the tank is pressurized, it bleeds off the extra pressure from the air compressor so that it doesn't have to start under high compression, and that just makes it easier on the whole system. So over the course of about 3 or 4 months, I tried to cobble this thing together and quickly ran into the conundrums of pipe sizing and national pipe threads, and there's standard threads on here, and I'm using stainless steel pipe, so I needed all these compression fitting thingamajigs. The check valve that's in the base of the compressor here, the one I had wasn't working. That's how I more or less this whole thing started. So I actually had to, I bought 2 or 3 of these, and of course being confused with tubing sizes and inside diameters and outside diameters and etc. I got the wrong one until I got a hold of a company on the west coast of the US that helped me out, and they got me all fixed up. And the first time I hooked it up, it continued to bleed off pressure from the unloader valve, and what I figured I had done wrong was I was bleeding off the excess pressure from the auxiliary tank side. So this thing wanted the control unit here wanted to bleed off the excess pressure from the entire auxiliary tank, which didn't work. So after some thought, figuring it out, I put in a one-way valve here so that the compressed air that goes into that tank can't make its way back, and then I moved the bleeder hose, or whatever you want to call it, from the compressor side back to the control unit, and that worked perfectly. So the other thing I did was, this is a new unit. I bought a cheap one that was supposedly adjustable, and it wasn't adjustable, so that had to go back, and I had to buy a new one. And I've put on a new water separator regulator. This was a really very good piece of kit that I got off eBay for like $40, and I looked them up and they're about 200, so I did all right there. But needless to say, it was a modification that took a lot of time because I didn't really know what I was doing, and I spent a whole lot of money on fittings and stuff, so we've got spare parts and things like that. But I learned a lot, and hopefully it's going to serve me well. So that's about it, other than there's a terrible mess in here to clean up. Got tools all over the place, junk all over the place, and there's not much I can do because it's freaking cold out here. So I'm going to cut this off. Thanks everybody for hanging in with us. We're looking forward to a good season, and we'll hope you'll be back to share it with us. Cheers.